It was June 22nd, 2020, when the Colorado Mountain Search and Rescue Team found a pair of skis while searching for lost equipment in melting glacial ice near Holy Cross Wilderness area close to Vail. And team leader 38-year-old Mark Stevens' heart sank when he pulled the skis from the ice sheet. The skis had been lying there for 18 years, faded red-white Rossignol brand junior skis, but the missing girl was not there. Colorado police had searched for Jessica Morgan for 18 years. The 15-year-old girl had vanished as if the mountain had swallowed her. Exactly 18 years later, those skis in the glacier would change everything. Mountain rescue technicians detected an electronic device and equipment taken from the ski bindings and bag. An old model GPS tracking device from 2002. Battery dead, but memory card intact. Colorado Crime Lab recovered the device's data, analyzed the last recorded location information. The first coordinate showed Jessica's last known location, Copper Mountain Ski Camp main slope. The second coordinate was shocking. The device had been moved 8 kilometers from camp to an unmarked valley. GPS history records showed the equipment hadn't gone there by itself. Someone had carried it. Database analysis found another device in the device's Bluetooth pairing history, a phone named T. Walsh, camp security. Timothy Walsh, 52 years old, security officer who had worked at Copper Mountain Ski Camp for 20 years. DNA analysis led the sweat samples and fabric particles on the ski bindings to a name Vail had trusted for 18 years. Camp security coordinator Timothy Walsh. Walsh had joined Jessica's search teams, scanned mountain slopes, told the Morgan family maybe she was caught in an avalanche. He had cried at the community memorial service, said these mountains aren't safe anymore. Now police were at his door, asking him one question. How were Jessica's skis in the glacier 8 kilometers from the camp you've worked at for 18 years, Timothy? In the South Valley of Holy Cross Wilderness, 2 kilometers off the main trail, at the entrance of an old mine tunnel, Jessica Morgan's skeletal remains were found. 15 years old, a girl who loved skiing, silenced because the camp security officer wanted to show her a special slope. At 9 o'clock on Saturday morning, December 28th, 2002, Jennifer Morgan stood in the kitchen preparing breakfast for her daughter Jessica. The 15-year-old girl wore her red ski suit, her red-white Rossignol skis on her shoulder. "Mom, the bus leaves at 10:30, Jessica said. Jennifer smiled. "Did you get your things? Is your GPS device in your bag?" Jessica checked her bag. "Yes, Mom. Everything's here. I'll be back in 3 days." Jennifer hugged her daughter tightly. "Be careful. Stay with the group on the slopes." Jessica laughed. "Mom, I'll be fine. I've done this before." Jennifer kissed her forehead. "I know, but you're my baby." Jessica said, "I promise." Leaving, she said, "I love you." Jennifer said, "I love you too, baby." At that moment, hundreds of children across Colorado were doing the same thing, going to ski camp for winter vacation. But Jessica Morgan never came home again. Jessica's plan was simple. Go to Copper Mountain Ski Camp, stay 3 days, take ski lessons, spend time with friends, return home December 31st. She had used the same camp last winter and loved it. It was safe, well organized, had instructors and security officers patrolling constantly. Camp security officer Timothy Walsh was there too, there every season for 6 years, providing security. Jessica knew him from last year. He was a kind man, always smiling. Everyone trusted him. But that December day, Timothy Walsh was thinking something very different. Jessica Morgan and her family lived in Denver. Her father, Robert Morgan, was a lawyer. Her mother, Jennifer, was a homemaker. Jessica was their only child. In 2002, she was a high school freshman, a good student, member of the school ski club. She loved skiing more than anything. She had started at age 7, competed in junior races by age 10, won regional medals by age 13. Her room was full of ski posters, trophies, and medals. Copper Mountain was her favorite place. That Saturday morning, she left for camp with excitement, but she never came home. At 3 o'clock on Tuesday afternoon, December 31st, 2002, Jessica still wasn't home. Jennifer stood by the window, watching the street, waiting for the camp bus. The bus was supposed to return at 2. At 3:10, she called Jessica. Voicemail. At 3:30, she called the camp organizer. A woman answered. Copper Mountain Winter Camp, how can I help? Jennifer tried to keep her voice steady. Hi, this is Jennifer Morgan, Jessica's mother. The bus was supposed to return at 2, and she's not home. There was a long pause. The woman's voice changed. Mrs. Morgan, I need to transfer you to our director. Jennifer's stomach dropped. A man came on. Mrs. Morgan, this is Director Peterson. I'm very sorry, but Jessica didn't board the bus this morning. Jennifer's legs went weak. What do you mean? Where is she? Peterson cleared his throat. We don't know exactly. She was last seen December 29th around 3 p.m. on the main slope. We assumed she was with her group, but when we did the bus count this morning, she wasn't there. Jennifer's voice rose to a scream. December 29th? That was 2 days ago. You're telling me now? Peterson stammered apologies. We thought she might have stayed with another family. Jennifer hung up, hands shaking. She called Robert. Jessica's missing. The camp lost her 2 days ago. Robert's voice went cold. I'm leaving now. Call police. At 4 o'clock, Vail Police Department launched an official search operation. Detective Michael Torres took the case, 42 years old, veteran investigator with 12 years of experience in mountain missing person cases. He had worked 17 similar cases. Only 3 had ended well. He determined Jessica's last confirmed sighting. Copper Mountain Ski Camp, Main Slope, December 29th at 3 p.m. Wearing red ski suit, red-white Rossignol skis, white helmet. Torres immediately directed teams there. Mountain rescue teams arrived at 5. Volunteer search teams formed at 6. Search dogs came from 3 counties. By 7 p.m., over 60 people were searching the mountain in darkness with flashlights, calling Jessica's name. Jennifer and Robert Morgan stood in the lodge, wrapped in blankets, watching through windows as searchers moved across slopes, both crying, both terrified. The first 48 hours were absolutely critical. Detective Torres knew this from painful experience. Mountain cases in winter were especially dangerous. Vast terrain, deep snow hiding trails, avalanche risk, severe freezing temperatures, wild animals including mountain lions, steep cliffs hidden by snow, disorienting whiteout conditions. Had Jessica gotten lost? Been injured in a fall? Been caught in an avalanche? Or had something worse happened? Torres focused on the main slope where she was last seen. But that Sunday afternoon, dozens of children had been there, skiing, playing. No one remembered specifically seeing Jessica after 3 p.m. No one saw her leave. Dogs picked up trails, but they crossed and recrossed, led nowhere. Snow had fallen December 30th, covering any tracks. No clues, no equipment, no signs of struggle. Jessica had seemingly vanished into thin air. Detective Torres interviewed everyone at camp, other campers, instructors, staff. He spoke with Timothy Walsh on the second day. Walsh was 34, had worked at Copper Mountain 6 years, known as reliable, friendly, great with kids. Mr. Walsh, did you see Jessica Morgan on December 29th afternoon? Torres asked, showing Jessica's photo. Walsh studied the photo carefully, expression concerned. Yes, detective, I remember her. I saw her on the main slope that afternoon, skiing with girls from her cabin. She's a good skier, very confident, Walsh said earnestly. What time? Around 2:30, maybe 2:45. I was doing my usual patrol. Did you talk to her? Yes. I told her and her friends to be careful, because the weather forecast was calling for snow. She thanked me, said they were planning to head in soon. Did you see where she went? No, I continued to other slopes. When I came back maybe 30 minutes later, I didn't see her specifically, but there were still kids skiing. Anything unusual that day? No detective. Seemed completely normal. Kids having fun, no incidents, nothing suspicious. Torres took detailed notes. Timothy Walsh seemed calm, genuinely helpful, appropriately concerned. He maintained eye contact. He offered to help. I really hope she's found safe, Walsh said with sincere emotion. I have a younger sister. I can't imagine what her parents are going through. Torres had no reason to suspect the helpful coordinator. A week passed. 2 weeks passed. No clues. Search teams scanned every inch of terrain, checked all slopes and trails, searched forest areas. Helicopters with thermal cameras flew grid patterns. Dive teams checked partially frozen lakes. Mountaineers searched cliff areas. Nothing found. Not equipment. Not clothing. Not a sign Jessica had been there. Jennifer went to camp every day for 3 months, walking slopes, calling her daughter's name, posting flyers everywhere. Robert hired private search teams, offered $50,000 reward. No one called. Media interest was intense at first. The story was on every local news station. Denver papers ran front-page stories. But by the second week, coverage reduced. By third week, nothing. Jessica Morgan became another name on Colorado's missing persons list, another unsolved case. The official search was called off after 30 days. The file was marked active but unsolved. Timothy Walsh was absolutely perfect during those terrible weeks and the 18 years that followed. He helped the Morgan family, brought them coffee, said, "Let me know if you need anything." He volunteered with search teams every weekend for 3 months, hiked through snow calling Jessica's name. He participated in the memorial service 6 months later when Hope had died, stood in back with tears streaming, told attendees, "These mountains aren't safe anymore. I failed to protect these kids." Jennifer hugged him after, thanked him. "You're very kind, Mr. Walsh." Timothy said, "I have a younger sister. I can't imagine what you're going through. I'm so sorry." He continued this performance flawlessly for 18 years. The concerned coordinator who tried so hard. The dedicated employee who felt personally responsible. The kind man who never forgot Jessica Morgan. No one suspected. No one questioned his story. No one knew the horrifying truth. At 2:30 on Sunday afternoon, December 29th, 2002, Timothy Walsh was patrolling when he saw Jessica Morgan skiing alone on the main slope. Most of her group had gone inside. Jessica wore a bright red ski suit, red-white Rossignol skis, white helmet. She was beautiful, young, innocent, athletic, confident. Timothy watched her, and something dark stirred inside him. Urges he had been suppressing for years. That day, the mountain was relatively empty. Jessica's friends were inside. She was completely alone. No instructors nearby, no other guards. Timothy made a decision. A terrible decision that would destroy 2 lives. Timothy skied over with a friendly smile. "Hey, Jessica, having fun?" he called cheerfully. Jessica stopped, recognized Timothy, smiled back. "Hi, Mr. Walsh. Yeah, the snow is perfect." "You're really good," Timothy said. "I can tell you've been skiing for years." Jessica beamed. "Thanks. I've been skiing since I was 7. Timothy nodded. "It shows. Hey, there's a secret advanced slope in the South Valley most campers don't know about. Much steeper, more challenging, way more fun." Jessica's eyes lit up. "Really? Where is it?" "Not on the official map. About a 20-minute ski from here. I'm heading there now to check it. Want to come see? Then you'll know where it is." Jessica hesitated. "I told my friends I'd meet them for hot chocolate." Timothy pressed. "Super quick, I promise. Half-hour max." Jessica thought. Timothy was the security coordinator. Everyone trusted him. Okay, sure. It was the last decision Jessica Morgan would ever make. The route to the South Valley started from camp, passed through forest, followed an unmarked trail. Timothy skied ahead. Jessica followed. 25 minutes later, they were deep in wilderness. No sounds, no people. Timothy stopped at a clearing. Jessica looked confused. No slope, just a ravine. Where's the slope? Timothy turned. Expression changed into something cold and predatory. Jessica, I need to talk to you. Voice lower, different. Jessica's instincts screamed danger. She stepped back. About what? I want to go back. You're very special, Timothy said, moving toward her. Jessica's heart pounded. I'm going back, she said firmly, turning. Timothy grabbed her arm hard. Wait! His grip was painful. Jessica yanked away, tried to ski. Let me go! Timothy was faster, stronger. He grabbed her. Both fell. Jessica fought, screaming, kicking, clawing. No one could hear. Timothy put hands on her throat, squeezed. Jessica couldn't breathe, eyes wide with terror. She thrashed desperately, but Timothy was much heavier. He squeezed harder. After 110 seconds, Jessica's body went limp, eyes open, staring at nothing. Timothy released, sat back shaking. She wasn't moving. He had killed her. Panic consumed him. Timothy had no plan. He had acted on dark urges. Now a child was dead. He looked around, mountain silent. No one saw. Maybe 30 minutes. He moved fast, carried Jessica's body deeper, 2 kilometers off trail. Old mine tunnel. Put body inside, covered with rocks. Then her skis, red-white Rossignol, too distinctive. Took them to glacier edge, placed them on ice. Snow would cover them. Never be found. Took her bag, turned off GPS, left it on glacier. Washed hands with snow. Face had scratches from Jessica's fight. Would say he ran into a branch. Adjusted uniform, took deep breaths, skied back to camp. When he arrived, other staff waved. Timothy waved back, smiled, acted normal. As if nothing happened. 18 years passed. Timothy Walsh aged, hair turned white, turned 52. Became coordinator, promoted, married Susan, teacher, had 2 children, known as good father, reliable husband, church member, coached sons hockey, volunteered at events, lived normal life, but every winter at Copper Mountain, walked past areas where he took Jessica. Every morning wondered, will today be the day? They never found her. Timothy relaxed. Maybe secret would die with him. Until 2020, when climate change caused glaciers to melt rapidly. Timothy panicked. That glacier. He'd left skis there. They'd find them. June 22nd, 2020, Mark Stevens, searching glacier, saw red-white in melting ice. He pulled. Skis. Rossignol, junior model, 18 years old. Shocked. Reported immediately. Same day, Jessica's bag found with GPS. Forensic team extracted data. GPS showed movement from camp to valley. Bluetooth history revealed T. Walsh, camp security. DNA on skis matched Timothy Walsh. That evening, Timothy watched television. News said 18-year-old ski equipment found in melting glacier. Timothy's heart stopped. Life ending. July 5th, 2020, 7 a.m., 4 officers knocked. Timothy opened, saw them, knew. Face went white. Timothy Walsh? Yes. Torres stepped forward. You're under arrest for Jessica Morgan murder. Timothy said nothing. Turned, hands behind back. Wife screamed, children cried. Timothy handcuffed, put in car, driven away. Hidden 18 years, finally caught. Interrogation room. Timothy sat 3 hours before speaking. Lawyer advised silence, but wait too much. I wanted to show her special slope, he said quietly, tears streaming. But I couldn't control myself. Touched her. She got scared, tried to run. I panicked, grabbed her, fought, Put hands on throat, squeezed, couldn't stop. Didn't mean to kill her, but I did. Buried her in mine tunnel. Put skis on glacier. Thought no one would find them. I'm sorry. Complete confession. Recorded. Damning. July 12th, 2020. Police brought teams to South Valley. Timothy drew map. Found Jessica where he said, 2 kilometers off trail, mine tunnel entrance, covered by rocks. Recovered skeletal remains, ski suit, helmet. DNA confirmed. Jessica Elizabeth Morgan, after 18 years, finally found. Jennifer and Robert received call. We found her, Torres said. Jessica is coming home. Timothy Walsh charged with murder and kidnapping. Trial was brief. Evidence overwhelming. Confession, DNA, GPS data, remains found where he said. October 18th, 2020, jury found guilty. Judge sentenced life without parole. Timothy showed no emotion. Wife filed divorce. Children refused to see him. Would spend rest of life in prison. Jessica Morgan's funeral, November 5th, 2020, Denver. Hundreds attended. Jennifer stood at grave holding red-white Rossignol skis that brought daughter home. Placed them beside headstone. Jessica Elizabeth Morgan, 1987 to 2002. Beloved daughter, friend, skier. Forever in our hearts, forever on the mountain. Robert stood beside, finally able to cry tears of closure. Now you're at peace, baby, Jennifer whispered. Now you can rest. Jessica died at 15 in 2002, came home 18 years later in 2020. Red-white Rossignol skis refused to stay hidden. Justice came late, but justice came. Subscribe for more true crime stories where justice finally came.